It's been an honor to lead the Rodale Institute for the past 8 years. Having worked here for nearly half a century, this farm really feels like home. It's also been a real honor and a privilege to be able to work with a team that's accomplished so much, including you, Jeff, the future CEO. I, more than anyone else, know how dedicated you are to the mission of the Institute, and I'm personally really excited to see where you lead us in the future, where we're going next.
Well, thank you, Jeff. It's been a tremendous honor to be stepping into this position in this moment in history. But I want to acknowledge that the Institute would never be where it is today if it weren't for your passion, your commitment, your dedication over the last 5 decades. And I can only hope to build on that amazing legacy that you set forth for all of us to really carry forth the mission of the Rodale Institute to support farmers and to advance regenerative organic agriculture. But I would be remiss to not ask you this question. After nearly 5 decades of service and giving your life to this higher calling, what are you most proud of?
Well, that's a hard question, and given the time span and the amount of change that's taken place in the organic community. But I guess I would have to say there's a few things that I'm really proud of that we've been able to accomplish as a team. First and foremost is really getting the word organic and regenerative organic linked together and on the national stage. So Rodale Institute is now invited to so many conversations across the country and around the world, and that's really exciting for me. And then on a personal note, being able to do some of my own innovative work with the design of the roller crimper, a tool that's being used now worldwide and on millions of acres to help manage weeds in a way that allows organic farmers to farm in a no-till situation. That's something that I'm quite pleased with. And again, we did that as a team. Then I'd say the last thing is really the time that I served on the National Organic Standards Board, where I've had an opportunity to share my voice and the voice of the Rodale Institute on the national platform and helping to build out the regulations that serve our community.
Yeah, I've known you for nearly over 2 decades now. We worked together for 6 years, but I've known you for a long time, and I can honestly say that the organic industry is better because of your leadership. We often, as consumers, take for granted that little label every time we go to the grocery store, and we can place that trust in the organic certification. But it was really your tireless work and your tenacious work to help the USDA and the National Organic Program get it to where it is today. We can trust that label at the point of sale in the grocery store. We can know that our families are eating the healthiest, most nourishing food possible because of all the work you put into that. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Institute and as an organic consumer.
It's very kind of you. Well, the beauty of this transition is that you're not new to the Rodale Institute. So let me ask you the same question. As you look back over your career as Chief Impact Officer of the Institute, now heading into the CEO position, what are you most proud of?
Well, that's a big question. I would start by saying that I'm so fortunate that I was able to join this organization at the moment in history that I did. Coming under your leadership, you became CEO about 1.5 years prior to me joining here. And I saw your vision. I saw it a long time ago. And I was so inspired by it. And I believe that I followed the thread of my life because I knew that a long time ago that if I was ever given the opportunity to join this organization working alongside of you, that I would jump at that chance. So when I joined full-time in 2017, there was an amazing shift happening culturally where consumer and public interest in this concept of regenerative organic agriculture was igniting. I know this organization's been working on that topic for a long time, for many, many decades, but there was almost a perfect storm in culturally or in our society right around the time that I decided to join. And so I think what I'm most proud of is that I got to work alongside of you on your leadership team and amidst the other amazing team members that we all know are here on staff. And together we've taken the Institute from a place that was diligent and unwavering in its mission, but we were a much smaller organization 6 years ago. Today, this organization is now global in nature. The brand is known around the world for what it's accomplished and for what its mission is and for what it stands for. The people that we've attracted to this organization are the best in the world at what they do. And the fact that we've been able to take our work off our main campus here in Kutztown, Pennsylvania, to 9 other locations around the world, I'm really, really proud of that. But most of all, I'm really proud to say that our mission is stronger today than the day I joined as an employee. And so I guess there's a lot to be proud of.
Yeah. Well, we've had some challenges along the way. I mean, none of us could perceive that COVID was going to come along and how that impacted the entire world, and also challenged a lot of people to revisit how they think of their own food sources, and how lifestyle and food impacts their personal health. And you helped us work through that, so I'm really pleased about that.
Well, I think the work that we've done together, and again the entire team that we've had the pleasure of working alongside of, we've endured a lot. The last 6 years, it's been hard work. We've built this organization literally from the ground up. It's not just you and I, but all of us. We know the long days and long nights and time on the road and time in airports that was required to do this work, but it's extremely satisfying to see where we are today. But it was, again, due in large part to your vision. So we have you to thank. So Jeff, it's obviously no secret, you've been an incredible mentor to me. You've spoken so much wisdom into my life, certainly over the last six years, but over the entire course of our relationship, I've really learned a lot from you. So you've led by example. And so as we sit here today and you pass the baton, what's the greatest piece of leadership advice that you could offer to me as I step into this new position?
Well, there's probably a few things that I would say, but first I'm going to try to boil it down to one word, and that word would be prioritize. You're going to be under a lot of pressure to accomplish a lot of things from a lot of people and a lot of outside forces. And it's going to be challenging for you to prioritize what's most important. We can't do everything, but we can do anything. And so how do we pick out what's the highest priority to move our mission forward, to inspire others to help us along the way, to take up those challenges and make a difference? So I would say the word prioritize. And then I'd also encourage you to listen and hear what this brilliant staff has to tell you. We are fortunate, as you just indicated, to work with some really amazing people, and they'll bring a lot of knowledge to the table, a lot of skills, and they're going to make you look good if you let them. So yeah, I think leaning on your staff and prioritizing the direction and the strategic plan for where you want to go is probably the number one bit of advice I can give you. And then probably lastly, I would just say, just be yourself. You're an amazing individual. The staff knows that, the board knows that, the outside world knows that. So don't be too hard on yourself, just be yourself.
Well, thank you for that. There's one thing you taught me, whether you know it or not. I think the greatest lesson I've learned from working alongside of you during our tenure together is the word integrity. That's what comes to mind for me. I think the Rodale Institute is stronger today, certainly, than when you took the helm, because of your unwavering integrity. I've watched you with such discipline and care evaluate every opportunity that's ever come across your desk, and I think you've asked yourself the question: is this good? Is this good for our mission? Is this good for our brand? And is it of integrity? And to me, that became a little bit of a check and balance for you, and a lens through which you evaluated how this organization got to where it is today. So I want to let you know today that I'm committing to carry on that same practice, is really to lead with integrity.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, as you know well enough, as a nonprofit, we are so protective of our reputation and our brand and who we are and what we do. So always running your thoughts through that filter will probably do you well. So Jeff, what do you see for Rodale Institute's future? What course do you want to chart for this now global institution?
I want to fulfill the work that we've begun. As I look out into the future and all the momentum that's behind us, I'm beginning to see something very unique coalesce here at Rodale. When you look out into the world and the challenges that our land grant system has presented to American farmers, and yet you contrast that with what we're building here at this institution, where we have now coalesced 15 of the brightest PhD scientists in the world that are focused on the science of organic farming. And then you marry that together with another 15 consultants that are working all day, every day across the United States to hold the hand of farmers and carry them on the journey towards embracing regenerative organic production. And now, as you know, Jeff, we're going to begin to invest in our education and really build best-in-class education to train tomorrow's organic industry professionals. When you marry those three things together, What I see as our future is that Rodale Institute is quickly becoming the university of regenerative organic agriculture for the world. And so to me, we become a global university and fulfill a huge void in the industry right now. Nowhere else is offering what Rodale has to offer, and now it's a matter of putting the pieces together that you've helped set in motion.
Well, I know you know that we share that vision. I'm excited to see it come to fruition.
So Jeff, we all know that we're not going to let you go too far. Sitting before me is the Rodale Institute's first ever CEO Emeritus, and I'm so thrilled to hear that. Can I hold you to that?
Absolutely. Where else would I rather be? It's hard to leave. As I said in my opening comments, you know, this place is home. So I'm really excited to be part of the Institute moving forward in that emeritus capacity. I know we've got some special projects that we're working on with our capital campaign, and seeing that these new buildings and new infrastructure being built will be exciting for me as part of my continuing involvement with the Institute. And then of course I hope to be able to act in an advisory capacity, not just to you, but to some of the other staff and some of the junior staff as we bring them along and encourage them to grow and mature in the culture of the Institute. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course I will be spending more time at home on my farm and with my family. I'm looking forward to that as well. I think it's just a really bright future for the Institute and for me personally. Couldn't be more excited.
Good, because I know I've already been giving you a long list of tasks where I could use your help, and yeah, no, I'm really thrilled and excited that you're going to still be, you know, by my side and helping me to accomplish the goals that Rodale is setting out to do. But really can't thank you enough for your willingness to continue to be part of our legacy, and I'm excited to see where we go together.